Hey, good morning. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to do opening bell, positive points for breakfast, check out my bullet points, and to see how we did. Decided to go short today at market, even though the call was for a long up. I saw the 200 period, which is my salmon color line, on two of the markets that we had some room to go up and touch it and bounce off. We had a long move down from last night. If you go back, you see that at 4 in the morning. So it was one of those situations, except for the NAS was barely above the 200. I just said, hey, this is a good time to do one DCA, which I normally don't do. This was an opportunity. So let's see what happened. We ended up immediately, the next candle got into not the DCA here, but almost, and then went down. So I never got into the DCA for the NASDAQ. And we ended up going down and making plenty of points, more than our 24. So I'll average that out. And then we got into each DCA on the S&P and on the Russell. So we continued, and you can see how that was basically the bottom of the market at 89. So at an average of around 2,300 and 89, that gives us plenty of points on 4 contracts. So we're going to look at that. I'll tell you how I get out of half. And in this run, I would have gotten out a little better. And then the S&P, we got out. We almost got stopped out because our 81.25 was our entry. So 85.25 would have been our stop. And then we came back, and right here we got whole because our dividing line was about 79.25. So I got out of 2 contracts. And then quickly it reversed and got me out of the other 2. So I about broke even on those 2. So it was a 2-win, double win here, a win here, and a break even. So let's look at the limit orders. So again, same look. We did not get in because the market just shot up on the S&P. We did not get in. I had a limit order down right, actually I had it at the bottom of the Bollinger at 42.75. Did not get in. I set a DCA, basically the wick back here at 6 o'clock, and then DCA on the Russell, same places, the wick back here at 7. And let's see what happens. And we get into the DCA. We got into because it did go down first, so we got into the DCA average of about 533, and then went up and got out at the EMA, so the 200 period. So that was a nice 24 point run right there, and then barely missed getting into the DCA on the Russell, which kind of stinks because that would have put my average at 22.90. Instead, we're still at 93.5, but it ends up coming and doing fine. I got out back at this line that has been the line in the sand. I'm going to make that a different color, right? So it's basically 6 points on the Russell, and then we got, I'm going to take half, but this just started running, so I took half. 33, and right at the bottom of the Bollinger, so 49, and then I took the rest to let it go a little bit and got out at 58. So I'll show you the breakdown later. So we hit the NAS, and the Russell was really close. The S&P, as you can see, split the uprights. It didn't get past the spots that I thought it was going to. We did hit a new all-time high last night, not since the midnight hour. I'm thinking 43.18 right now, is kind of about where we might end up. I was thinking more up in the 43.80, but it has to really start to go. I know it's the end of the quarter, so there's a lot of, back and forth stuff today. So maybe next week or later this week, because we have the 4th of July, I've seen some huge run-ups. So this green triangle is ultimately where I think we might hit potentially right before the weekend. But we have 42.70 now as bottom support, 42.80. We basically want to stay, above yesterday's bottom close, over the reopen. And so end of day 42.75 or 43.05. Let's look at the NASDAQ next. So as you can see, hit our mark almost right in the middle. made a new all-time high, still really bullish. You know, I'm thinking that the 10-day is probably our support now. So I've kind of lowered it a little bit. It's running still, you know, in this upper channel. The 10 period's the top of the 15% blow off on the bottom of the channel, but we're, you know, touching the Bollingers. We might have a day where we pull back like these days and then regroup and do 2 more to go up. It just is still going, but you know, it could ultimately retrace to the 10 period. We kind of need that right now, but I like the bullishness. So we'll see. End of day 14,430 or 14,630 is what I'm looking at. And on the Russell, we really didn't hit it. It's a little bit below. It closed below. It just looks like it because I have this zoomed in. So I missed by 3 points inside the box. We did hit the 4 hour on the bottom. The bottom of this wick on the 4 hour was where we touched the 200 period. We're under the 60 EMA, which is up here. I would say 2284, that line is now the bottom support. We got to get back up to this 2347. I'm surprised we haven't made a new all-time high, but we're just having rotation out of it. And so right now, I would say anything closing above this 2305, anything green above the 10 period would be good today. It doesn't look promising right now, but let's see what happens. End of day 2394 or 2323. All right, so here's the final of the day. We did ended up with 0 on the S&P. We ended up with 24 on 2 contracts on the NAS and 8 points on 4 contracts, dividing 6 and 10. And so our totals were 32 points, 256 on the micro, 2560 on the mini. On the limit orders, no trade in the S&P. We averaged 21, which was 27 and 15 on 2 each. So that gives you that breakdown. Shows you, I guess I didn't show that. And then, oh yeah, I did. Right here. And then the Russell, we got it 6. So our totals were 27 points, 228 on the micro, 2280 on the mini. Thanks for being a part of Futures More, Futures Networks Live, and Positive Points for Breakfast. We'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.